Hey everybody, it's Andy Cloudy Mulder, and it's about time I gave you a collection update. Spinning some Black Talon, Existential, their 5-track EP from... God damn it guys, you haven't put the date on the CD. I think this is about 2019. They did put on the CD. Well done guys. That helps a lot, but it helps if I actually look first. Black Talon we're listening to. So before I show you that, and I just showed you that, collection update. Not done with these for a while, so as you can imagine there's plenty that's come in and plenty to show, but I've just grabbed a handful of some of the stuff that I'm ready to put away on the shelves. Mixture of CDs obviously, cassettes, and of course the vinyl. Always adding a little bit of vinyl to the collection. So why don't we start with Black Talon? I've talked about it already. So you might have remembered in a previous video I talked about going to the Red Crust Festival in Edinburgh, and I picked up this album, Endless Realities, and I was raving about it. Told you guys to check it out. Some of you did, and some of you said you went on and bought it, so that's fantastic. Well, I wanted to eat my own dog food, so I went on their Bandcamp and I picked up this EP from 2019. It's a 5-track EP, Scottish thrash metal band. CD's obviously in the box. I bought the bundle. I can't remember if it came with this sticker or I picked this sticker up from the gig, but it did come with the Existential patch, and it's pretty cool design Existential t-shirt with a back print as well. Fantastic price for the bundle. I can't remember what it was, but it was under 20 quid for a CD, a t-shirt, and a patch. But you can hear what it's like. It's fantastic modern UK thrash metal, nice and angry, brilliant. Check them out. I love this band. I want to go and see them again live, hopefully soon. Next two are also UK thrash metal, which I love to fly the flag of. This time we've got Insurgency and their new release, Primitive Shrines. I think this was a cassette only release. Comes on this nice white with black print cassette shell. It's only an EP as well. Well, it's not even an EP, it's more like a single. It only has 3 tracks on there: Primitive Shrines, Final War, and Existential Threat. Existential obviously being something that's very important in UK thrash metal at the moment. This came out this year. I'd say there's a picture of the band, but it's very, very old school. Kind of looks like it's been photocopied, but they probably spent hours and hours on Photoshop to get that authentic 80s photocopied look. Why not? But yeah, excellent album. It's kind of dirty, angry, slightly blackened thrash metal. Came with a sticker as well. They do have another album out. Had this one for a few years now, and this is my introduction to the band. In fact, actually my introduction to the band was the British Steel compilation that came out probably about 5 years ago now. These guys were on there. I wouldn't recommend this album on vinyl though. The album, very, very good. The vinyl pressing though is muddy as hell. If you buy it for a Bandcamp, and if there are indeed copies left, and you download the FLAC files from it, they sound superb. So maybe get it on CD, because I imagine the CD will be cut from the same cloth as that. But yeah, slightly grimy, shouty, dirgy. Dying Victims Productions 2022 release from Insurgency, Primitive Shrines. Next up was another band. I found it on Bandcamp. I was doing a little bit of me and family were driving back from down south a few weeks back, and I just spent my time on my phone listening to things on Bandcamp, looking for British metal, and I found this band called Morti Viventi, which sounds very Italian. Check out that artwork. This is The Day the Dead Returned. It's UK thrash metal, and this album is particularly sort of horror movie inspired. The cool thing about it is it's a one-man band, and this is of course it's not going to have his name on it now, but this is he. And he put this together in 2014. It came out on CD. I couldn't find a CD, but then I found out there were a limited edition run of cassettes on either a blue or a red cassette shell. They're only £4 each on Bandcamp, so well worth grabbing a copy. And it's really, really, really good, I have to say, for a one-man band. Now, there's a lot of blurb on here. It's an interesting read, and but it's very, very technical. If you like to know exactly what guitars, amps, and computer software and computer hardware he used to put this project together, then you can geek out on that. It has 7 tracks in total, and all kind of zombie horror movie related, and he actually describes the sound really well, because I wouldn't know how to describe the sound, but there's layers upon layers of guitars on here. I think he mentions there's some like 3 layers of rhythm guitar on here, and it does sound really, really rich and just so good, but definitely worth checking out. One band, Morti Viventi, The Day the Dead Returned, originally 2014. Not quite sure where the cassette came out, but there are still cassettes available if you are interested. The other one I found that trip was this band from Emotional Suicide. Now, this is not a new band at all. This band was formed in 1992. They're a UK metal band, and they sound. I mean, this album came out in 1993. Limited to 500 copies. Never heard of it before, but there are still copies available. You can actually buy copies of this on Bandcamp. I don't know if they. The band have got a page there, and whether they found a bunch of them, but what does it say? Let me just. They were formed from the ashes of the Cut. This was actually re-released in 2022, completely remastered with bonus tracks. But I thought it'd be quite cool to grab a copy of the original, and being a bit of a tight arse, I didn't buy it off them on Bandcamp. I found a second-hand copy on on eBay for a few quid cheaper, and it's good. I mean, it's straight up metal, but it's also, parts of it wouldn't sound out of place in the early 80s, and that's probably maybe why it didn't gain much traction, because it sounded really out of date by then. But there are other parts of it which almost sound on the grungy side of it. Certainly the last song, Sacred Time, the vocals on that just kind of sound very Seattle-ish to me. The CD cover actually folds out to be the lyrics and the band shot on there. But I really like this album. Keep Your Demons Down is a great song. Emotional Suicide, Temporary Insanity. It's good. It's well worth checking out, I think. 1993, completely the wrong time really for this kind of music, but it stood the test of time for me, and I think it's a very, very good album. Onto the vinyl. This is an album I've actually had for a long time, but I got so pissed off with the buying processes of it when I actually got a copy that was decent, and by decent I mean it still had this corner ding in there. I was kind of fed up with it. I just stuck it in the inbox and nearly forgot about it. So this is obviously Cutty Sark, Die Tonight, which originally came out in 1984. Slightly different cover. This is obviously a reissue. Cutty Sark being a German band, straight up heavy metal. But this album is so good. It's straight out of 84. Originally it came out on Mausoleum, and this label here, Golden Core, distributed by ZYX Music, have done a great job in kind of reproducing the feel of Mausoleum without completely copying it. Even to the, I mean, they've given it the label, the catalogue number Skull 666, which wasn't the original catalogue number of this. So I think Skull 666 might have been something else. But it comes with a almost high roller-esque inner, which has a history of the, there's some labels here from the original labels. That's the original Mausoleum label there for comparison, and the original cover, press clippings, and then a nice write-up about how this album actually came into place, which is a really good read. I mean, sometimes I make a habit of reading some of those, and sometimes I'm disappointed, other times I forget, and sometimes I read them and they're great. But again, they've done a very good job of mimicking the Mausoleum label without actually producing the Mausoleum label. Songs to check out: Die Tonight, brilliant. Burning to Ashes. It does have a bonus track on here, Firebird, which wasn't on the original album, but I will forgive them that. It's a pretty decent song nonetheless. But nice tashes. Very, very early 80s looking band. Don't know too much about this band, but the palaver I went through for this was about the fourth copy I got. It kept coming with absolutely massive seam splits, and it wasn't that the whole batch was split in the same place. One came with like a 6-inch split there, one came with a spine split, one came with a bottom split, and I nearly gave up. I wanted Amazon to give me a refund, but they kept insisting on sending me a new copy, and eventually I got one that was okay, and I just thought, that's it, I'm keeping it. Next up, an album I probably wouldn't have bought, one I was aware of, but not that aware of. So this is Mr. Bungle and The Night They Came Home. I know of Mr. Bungle because Scott Ian is part of it, Dave Lombardo is part of it, and they have revamped Mr. Bungle that were around in the early 80s, sort of experimental thrash crossover weirdness. Hype Sticker says, Mr. Bungle, the night they came home, a virtual live concert experience, indie exclusive, Orange 2 LP. I found this in a shop where I wouldn't normally find metal records, and it was a decent price, so I thought I would grab it. I had no idea, really. I didn't read the Hype Sticker properly. I knew Mr. Bungle had an album out. I kind of presumed it was that album, but it's not. This is one of these live, lockdown, no audience type jobs, but I like it. It's really good. I still don't think I would go out of my way to buy the main album. I don't need to now. Half the songs are on here, but there we go. So we've got, probably recognise a few people there: Scott Ian, and Dave Lombardo, and Mike Patton as well as sings on this, and the other couple of original members from Mr. Bungle, The Night They Came Home. Like I say, slightly experimental. It's almost like a grown-up SOD in some cases. In fact, there's a we're going to butcher the Spanish pronunciation. It's Habla Español o Muera. Basically, Speak English or Die in with a Spanish title, although it's sung in English. So that's obviously the Scott Ian influence in there. There's a cover of Hello Waits mixed with Summer Breeze. Yep, that's Summer Breeze, which is quite interesting. Loss of Control, Van Halen cover, I believe. I mean, when it thrashes, it's great. The crossover moments are quite good as well. And it's on it's bright orange vinyl, which is actually slightly translucent. It's decent album for the price I paid. Yeah, glad I got that on the collection. It's one of those things that I would never have gone out of my way to buy, but it was there, so I grabbed it. This one you saw me show in the box I got from Jürgen, but I know Metal Mickey was dying to find out what I thought of it, so I'm not going to tell him. No, just joking. Running Wild. It's a band that's kind of passed me by when I've heard little bits of pieces of them. I have a more recent album of theirs, which was done as a double album, and it wasn't done particularly well, and that kind of put me off checking out the earlier stuff. Never been a fan of the whole piratey era, to be honest with you. But I was told that this one is kind of the last one before they went piratey, and I would enjoy it. And enjoy it I did. Does it make me want to go out and find everything else from Running Wild? No, it does not. Am I happy to own an OG, by the way? Thank you, Jürgen. Branded and exiled on Noise Records. Yeah, delighted. I've played it a few times. It just doesn't grab me the way it does Metal Mickey, I have to say. But it's a good listen. And again, glad I got it in my collection. This one actually came with I don't think this is a merch card. Well, no, actually it is a merch card, but there's obviously no pictures on it. A very 80s merch card. They had no pictures. They were expecting you to buy t-shirts and Orf Klebers and Schweibands. Sorry, Jürgen. Without actually knowing what they look like. But there you go. It's always nice to find the original guts of a record, and also the original inner sleeve as well. Picture sleeve with the band and previous releases shown, and the lyrics as well. So fantastic gift from Jürgen. Very happy to have it in my this isn't the rap version, this is my CD player. Doesn't like CDRs, which Black Talon releases, unfortunately, but there we go. Anybody know this band? Yeah, it's been shown a lot. So this is obviously Enchantments' new album, Cold Soul Embrace. A death doom slab of awesomeness, as I'm led to believe by people that know all about Death Doom. I don't know all about Death Doom, but I do know about this fella here, and I'm more than happy to support him with his release. What has surprised me is I do actually like this. It's not how I imagined Death Doom to be. It's very, very melodic. I've heard other people say that how it's really sort of deep and kind of I don't want to say not miserable, what's the word, but you know, just heavy emotion, and maybe I'm just too happy a guy, but I just enjoy it for what it is. I like the melodic moments in it. I'm really surprised by the melodic moments in it. The artwork is superb. I love the matte finish. I'm not going to bang on about what this album is like as a Death Doom album, because I said I don't know enough about the genre. I do enjoy. I was actually expecting a black vinyl version, but this is the blue and turquoise, green, whatever version. Mark sorted me out with a copy. I did pay him for it, but I got him to send it on to me, which was fantastic of him to do. Nice heavy stock matte finish in it as well, and very, very nice. Thank you list. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yes, it's not really my cup of tea. When and this shows I'm not blowing smoke up Mark's arse, is that when I think it was As Greed as the Eye Beholds, when they released that as a single, I listened to it on its own. It didn't do a lot for me. Remember, this is not my style of music, but hearing it in the context of the album, it fits, it flows, it really works. Song titles, bizarre, but that's all part and parcel of the Death Doom genre, or so I'm led to believe. I really like, actually really like the last couple of tracks on here, The Beauty of Liars and One Jump of the Sun. I really like those. So I would have grabbed this just to support Mark, but I wouldn't have come on and say blown smoke up his arse. But I actually enjoyed it, and I've played it quite a lot, more than I actually thought I would. So great job. Enchantment, Cold Soul Embrace 2022. Now this is one that I showed in album covers video recently, but I'd only just picked it up and I haven't got around to showing it on an update. And is instantly, I'd heard it a few times in the past, but oh my god, I love this album now. Riot Thundersteel, this is the 30th anniversary edition on Metal Blade Records. Originally out in 1988, obviously 30th anniversary, this was a 2018 press. I love the artwork, but oh my god, the album is a 10 out of 10. Thundersteel, Fight or Fall, God, Sign of the Crimson Storm, Flight of the Warrior, of Wigglesings, of Wigglesings, of Eagles, of Wings of Eagles. I'm not even been drinking, honestly. God, yeah, that is. I love this. I love the vocals on performance on here is soaring. It's just absolutely fantastic. Sounds superb, as you'd expect from Metal Blade Records. Nice, shiny. Oh, need to get a CD player that plays CDRs. It's killer. But yes, great reproduction of a classic album and easily one of my top 10 favourite metal albums. Straight in there, no question about it. Last one. This was another nudge I got from Metal Mickey. I was missing one album that I needed from Dogs to More. I think you only need the first 3 albums, and this is straight from 1990. Classic Dogs to More. It's not metal. It's kind of... It's a hodgepodge, love that word, of many styles. It's bit Guns N' Rosey in places. It's bluesy rock, it's sleazy, it's just a little bit of everything. So this is a gatefold edition. All the artwork, I believe, is done by Tyler, the vocalist. I collect anything from Dogs to More from this period, well, from 1990 back, only missing a couple of 12-inch singles. They always do a great job with 12-inch singles, limited edition, or what have you, and delighted to have straight in the collection. Tracks to look out for. Cardboard Town is a great. Gypsy Blood, Back on the Juice. I mean, the songs are all kind of very... There's a certain upbeat about them, but the lyrics are actually a little kind of dark, I guess, because a lot of songs about sort of alcohol and drugs and things, but not a celebration of, but almost a reluctant participant of, shall we say. China Records, 1990, Dogs to More, album collection that I need, done. So there we have it, a real mixture of stuff from Dogs to More to dirty, horrible UK thrash in the vein of Insurgency. Something new, I'm sure, for some of you to check out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you again soon, because this video is done.